Spade back here with you, High Noon Leatherworks, for another leather adventure. And today, this video is going to be the conclusion of the guitar strap project. So today, we'll put on the final pieces and we'll try it out. We'll see how it looks. So come on in, let's get started. Today, we're going to go ahead and take the pieces that we made on the last video, which was for the buckle and the adjustment, the front and the rear straps that go onto the main part. So today we need to put on some rivets to finish this up. I am going to have to mark these. I did go ahead and put my rivet holes in my straps off camera because I dyed these and I wanted to make sure those holes were already in there. Same way with my rivet holes for my buckle. So those rivet holes were put in there off camera. So I'm going to get a board here to work on so I have a more solid surface and I don't want to hit on my self-healing cutting mat. So I'll put me a board down here. We'll get the hardware and the rivets out. I'll get my rivet setter. And it's a fairly inexpensive tool. Normally you can get it in a pack, and I did save well, this is a line snap pack for snaps, but you can get it the same way with rivets. So you can get a package of rivets with the rivet setter and everything in it. So fairly inexpensive. I don't know. I don't think this one still has the price on it. Yeah, it does. This one has got a retail price of $7.99 for that pack. So it's fairly inexpensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make some marks in my actual strap. So I have my stylus, and I'm going to take my strap that goes to the rear, and I know which one's the rear and which one's the front because the front has the holes for the buckle, for the belt, the adjustment part. So I'm going to put this strap in the center, and I'm not measuring it, I'm just eyeballing it. And then I'll put a little divot right in the center of that where my hole has to go, and I'll put another piece of scrap leather under that, and I'll go ahead and knock my holes out. And then I can put it on a harder surface, kind of flatten that out where that punch went through there. And then I'll do the same thing on the other end. So put my scrap piece in there. it up. Take my stylus. Put a little divot in the center. And then knock those holes out with a punch. Now I'm using a pretty small punch. I'm looking to see, it's an 1/8 inch. So that's a pretty small punch. And I think about the only thing I've ever used an 1/8 inch punch for is rivets. So there's the holes. I'll flatten that out a little bit. And then I've already got my holes punched for my rivets that go hold the buckle on. So I'll put my strap on there and fold that over, and that happens to land right in the way on either side of putting my rivets in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work off the edge of the surface so that my buckle can hang over, and that way it's not going to be in the way. So I'll pull out the pieces that I need for my rivets just on this one piece. I don't like to have them sitting out, because you hit very hard, you can actually knock them off of your workbench. Then you have to find them. So they're better off staying in some kind of hardware keeper until you're ready for them. So I'll go ahead and put one of them through. There it is. And then I'll put the cap on. Push that down in there. Set my rivet on my rivet base. Take my rivet setter. And I like to give it 2 or 3 good whacks, and does a nice job setting those rivets in there. So let me get a second one. Put the cap on. Push it down in there. Put it on my base. And there's what it looks like with both the rivets in it. You tell that they're equally spaced apart. Nice and tight. So this is the end that goes on this end of the strap, and I'll have to get 2 more rivets, top and the bottom, stud and the cap, and feed that through that end of the strap, and then I'm going to set that on that base, that rivet base of the tool, and then I'm going to put my small strap and line up both holes. I could put the other rivet in there, but it would probably just fall out because there's nothing supporting it. So, but I want to make sure my holes are lined up, because when I go to set this, it's probably going to set it so tight that it's not going to want to swivel very easy. So you can see there's the first rivet, and then we'll go ahead and place the second one on the base. Makes it a little bit easier. Push it through. Put my cap on, push it down. Put my setter on top of my cap. And there's that end on the strap. And that's with the buckle. Now we'll go to the other end, and that is the one that's just one of the longer straps that has the hole in it that goes on the guitar. So we'll do the same with that. We'll pull 2 rivets. I'll have to replenish my inventory of rivets here soon. So we'll put it on the setter base, same as we did last time on the other side. We'll line those up, put a cap on, push it down, take my setter tool, take the second rivet, and hopefully, there we go, get that lined up, push it through both pieces, put on my cap, take my setter tool, and there's the 2 rivets on that strap. And I'm going to turn it over. There's what it looks like on the underneath side. Now we can go ahead and put our hardware up. And done with our mount. Now we can go ahead and take our strap that has the hole in it for the front of the guitar and all of the buckle holes, and we can go ahead and feed it in. I'm going to put it on the second hole. And there's what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and I'll grab the guitar and we'll put it on there and we'll see how it looks. Got the strap done. Got it on the guitar. And here you can see it on the back side. And here it is on the front of the guitar. and you can see how it's adjustable. So if the person that is getting this made uh, needs it shorter, then they can adjust it with the buckle and make it shorter, or they can lengthen it to another inch, so if they want it hanging down further. But it's very comfortable. You can tell the strap itself is much wider that goes over the shoulder. Here's what it looks like in the back. So it turned out really good. Again, it's easy to put on, easy to take off, and it's very stable. It holds the guitar great. So one other thing left to do here. I want this to be fairly soft and supple. And I want it to be protected. I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and some Fibings saddle soap, and I've used this before. It cleans and renews leather like old leather, but it also makes new leather that's been dyed softer and more pliable. It does help protect it somewhat. I mean, it's not as protectant probably as the leather sheen or the actual water repellent protectant, but I just take it and start putting it on in circular motions, and I put it on the finished side, and I just let that saddle soap work its way in there. Just and it is going to get down into small crevices, especially with all this intricate uh, carving and stamping that I did. But you can see the difference. Look at the sheen now that it has on it, and it will make it more supple, softer. But that's why I use a microfiber cloth, because it will get down in there and take those pieces out of there, those pieces of saddle soap that get down into the smaller crevices. And it also helps push the saddle soap down into those crevices. And that really brings out the detail also in the leather that's been carved in there and stamped in there, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But it just really puts a nice finish, sheen on it. Of course, you're rubbing the leather too, and that kind of shines it up a little bit. And I think I'll take this piece off of the buckle so I can fold the buckle over and get this whole new piece here. And it does renew have something that's old that you've bought or that's been handed down to you or whatever, you can kind of renew it a little bit with this saddle soap, this Fibing saddle soap. So I'll take a little bit on this piece, and then I want to show you what it did to the detail. You can see that sheen on there, and it does make it much softer. So I'll flip it around. I'll come down the other way. I'll go ahead and put my belt piece back on since I've already went over that, and it'll definitely make it softer, especially since it's narrower. And you just keep working at it. Try not to put too much soap on your rag. Just enough to work it in to the leather. I know this person that's getting this made is going to be very happy with it because it's a nice guitar strap, and it's one of those things that's going to last as long as it's taken care of. It's going to last a lifetime. So I'm kind of excited to see them get the finished product. And there's the other end finished. You can see the sheen that it put on that. So that's it. Another project completed. Nice guitar strap. I did this, I didn't mention it this episode or the last video, but this is in medium brown. It's Fibing's medium brown dye, the color. So just in case you hadn't seen the original video with the strap, the dyeing of the strap. So I did match it with the other straps that I put on it. So very happy with this project. Again, nice, adjustable, heavy duty, gonna last forever. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along. I appreciate you subscribing. I've got a lot of new subscribers lately, and I really appreciate that. So that brings me to what I always say at the end of my videos. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.